If you've been feeling exhausted, mentally stretched, emotionally thin, like you're pouring out more than you had to give, well, this message is for you. You know, there comes a point when it's not that you're weak. It's even not that you lack discipline. And it's not that you've lost your faith. You're just tired. You know, life has a way of wearing us down in layers. Just one thing on top of another sometimes. Responsibilities that stack up. Unexpected problems that show up uninvited. And before you even notice it, you're running on fumes and you're still trying to convince yourself you're fine. Anybody know what I'm talking about? You know, you wake up tired. You go to bed tired. And somewhere in between, you're holding everything together with sheer willpower. You know, burnout hits different when you're the one holding everybody else up. When you're the stable one, the strong one. But you know, even strong people wear down. Even strong people get weary. Even strong people reach the point where their heart just whispers, I just can't carry all of this by myself anymore. You know, burnout is tricky. It doesn't always show up as quitting. Most of the time, when you burn out, you're still showing up, but with a quieter spirit, a heavier mind, and a soul that's been fighting battles that no one even sees. You smile, but your heart, well, it's tired. You work, but your passion feels thin. You keep going, but you know you're running on the last bit of strength you've got left. And I want you to hear this clearly today. God sees every bit of that. Here's the truth. One of the most holy, God-honoring things you can do is simply be honest. Admit I'm worn out. Admit I need help. Admit I need rest. I can't keep doing life at this pace. You know what happens when you say that? You stop carrying a weight that was crushing you. And you start allowing God to carry what He was always willing to carry. Jesus didn't say, come to me all that have it all together. He said, come to me all that are weary and heavy laden, and I will give you rest. God doesn't restore the rested. He restores the exhausted, the empty, the ones who've been running too hard for too long. You don't have to push through on your own strength anymore. You don't have to pretend to be okay. You don't have to hide the fact that life has been heavy lately. You just have to come back to the one who feels you. Because you know what? Restoration isn't something you can earn. It's something that God gives you when you stop trying to carry everything yourself. You know, God sees you getting up when you don't feel like it. He sees you handling responsibilities you didn't even ask for. He sees you helping people when you can't even seem to help yourself. He sees you pushing through the days that should have broke you. You know, burnout doesn't mean you're failing. It just means you're carrying more than a human heart was designed to ever carry alone. You know, you weren't created to be everything for everybody. You weren't created to absorb every problem. You weren't created to carry all this emotional and spiritual weight with nowhere to lay it down. And yet you keep trying. You keep pushing. You keep showing up even when you're empty. You know, that's not weakness. That's just exhaustion wearing bravery's clothes. You know, here's the part we don't talk about enough. You know, God never asked you to be superhuman. We just put that on ourselves. Somewhere along the way, we start believing that rest is weakness. That slowing down means we're falling behind. That admitting we're overwhelmed means we don't trust God enough. You may not feel strong right now, but look at you. You're still here, still showing up. Still believing that God has more for you. Still holding on when life tried to tear you apart at the seams. That strength, most people would never see it. But it's strength that God honors. You're not done. You're just tired. And you know what? Tired people get restored. Tired people get renewed. Tired people get fresh vision, fresh strength, and fresh direction. You know, some of the greatest breakthroughs in life happen right when you feel the most worn out. Because burnout forces you to stop relying on your own strength and finally lean into God's strength. So if you're tired, you're not at the end. You may be at the turning point. Stop and let God breathe on the parts of you that feel empty. Let God renew you. Let God refresh you. Let Him restore what life has drained out of you. Oh, you're not done. This is not your finish line. This is simply the moment where God begins to refill you again. And remember, if God woke you up today, He's not done with you yet. So walk into tomorrow expecting Him to renew your strength. Hey, if you enjoyed this, thank you so much. Please subscribe to my channel. I make videos every week. I'm so glad you stopped in today. Have a blessed day.